Podcaster, even though I only have 7 followers. I don't have any viewers. It's Chuck Wolf, the Chuck Wolf Show. I'm also the part-time preacher on most platforms. I'm actually took a vacation day today, and I feel bad. I didn't feel well when I got up, and I got someone to fill in and preach for me, even though I preach part-time. Uh, I feel a little better, but I think it's just been on vacation kind of all week. I think I needed a break. But anyway, we got a couple things to talk about this week. Tonight, if you will, it's America 250, and this is it's not the bicentennial because that was let's fix this a little bit. Not the bicentennial because that was 1976, the year old Chuck was born. What do you call this? The bicentennial and a half? I really don't know. I probably should have looked that up. My hat's kind of messed up. But anyway, we're going to look at that, taking just a little bit of a look at it. You know, you've seen all of the, I hope you've seen by now, all of the pictures or videos, I guess you could say, from across the nation. And it does appear that there were some large celebrations here in Nashville. We had it looked like a massive celebration to celebrate America 250. And there is a lot to celebrate. There's a lot to be happy about. There's a lot about America that is good. It really is. That doesn't mean there's not a lot about America that can't be fixed. But if you speak about the things that need to be fixed, then you're called a communist or a socialist or you hate America. You know, we love America, actually. We love America so much we want to fix it, because if we didn't want to fix it, we wouldn't care about it at all. You know, it's kind of like wanting to see your children do better. If you didn't care about your children, you wouldn't worry about seeing them go to college. You wouldn't worry about seeing them get a good job, but you do care about them. So even though we have high energy prices, even though we have food insecurity, even though we're bombing the smithereens out of about anybody we want to, those are bad things, yes. But there's also good things. I mean, we are a land of opportunity. Now, granted, it's easier if you have a leg up. There was an old SNL skit that actually featured Donald Trump, I think, after he became the apprentice teacher or whatever. And the skit was, I don't remember who was doing it, but it was Trump saying, his scheme to get rich, like, you want to know how to get rich? You want to know how to get rich quick? Have a rich father. And you know what? That's the quickest way to getting rich, is if you have a rich daddy or a rich mama, but it's generally rich daddies. But if you have one of them, you're in good shape. You got a leg up, but it's not impossible. I was talking about this with Mrs. Chuck Wolf yesterday. My hair looks awful. Anyway, I was talking about this with Mrs. Chuck Wolf yesterday. You know, as I look around and I think how much the Lord has blessed me with the things that I have on the little quick vacation that we took, and I see people, you know, that are obviously more disadvantaged than myself, and I do feel bad. I'm like, why has God blessed me so much and not someone else? And the answer is, I don't know. In Deuteronomy 33, the Lord says, I'll have mercy on whom I'll have mercy. I'll have compassion on whom I have compassion. And that's completely at the Lord's choosing. I certainly do not deserve the first breath or morsel of food or a place to lay my head, nothing. But the Lord grants that. It doesn't mean you don't have a role to play. You still have to get up and go to work every day. Hard to be blessed if you're not doing that. It's hard to have money if you're not doing that. But I did want to say, as we look at America 250, just again, I was in the womb July 4th of 1976, even though I was born in November, but still looking at photos, looking at pictures, looking at everything, it looks like that there used to be more hope, even in the midst of the gloomy 70s, especially in 76, just coming out of Vietnam. There was economic problems, oil embargoes, things not going well, but it still seemed that there was a hope for America. And this year we see all of the celebrations, but I'll just be honest, I can't 100% say they don't feel a little bit forced. Yes, we're celebrating in Nashville. Yes, they tried to celebrate in Washington, D.C. Maybe they did. I haven't seen a whole lot. I don't know. I'm sure they celebrated New York, Los Angeles. I'm sure the big cities all celebrated. And here in the small town where I live, I mean, there was a huge fireworks display. And all of that is wonderful, because we do want to celebrate the chance that we do live in a great country where you have upward mobility. You can work hard and you can better yourself. Can you go from a hundredaire to a billionaire? Very unlikely. Hundredaire to a millionaire? Still unlikely. But from a hundredaire to having a decent living, yes, that's possible. I'm not saying it's easy. It wasn't easy on my parents, wasn't easy on my papa, wasn't necessarily easy on me for that matter. But education and work ethic and the blessings that the Lord gives, that's what, again, makes it great here. I don't want to go on and just on and on and say everything is rose colored glasses because these lenses are clear. I mean, we do have problems. But I really don't want to talk about the problems right now. I don't really want to talk about a whole lot. Don't plan on spending a whole lot of time on here. It's just been a week, and people have been clamoring to have Chuck back. I mean, all 7 followers have been like, Chuck, where are you? How do we even know how to make it through the day without your guidance? And not a single soul emailed me. I'm just joking. My buddy Rick kicks up with me. But anyway, I mean, how's 250 been for you? I mean, you drive around and you see, even in my town, I didn't see just a ton of displays. I mean, most people around here have a flag anyway. I did see where everybody was like jumping on Carrie Underwood and or defending Carrie Underwood as she drove through what I believe is Franklin, Tennessee, around that area. An extremely wealthy county, by the way, Williamson County, one of the top like 5 wealthy counties in the nation. But anyway, uh, she was driving, either it was her property or there was something else. I don't know, but there were probably 300 flags on every fence post. And some were saying, really? Do you need that many? And then the ones that would say, do you really need that many? The others would jump on them like, you guess you're not a patriot. Guess you're not an American. I'm like, how many flags do you have to have? I mean, I have a Dodger shirt on. I'm a Dodger fan. Do I need 50 Dodger flags to prove that I'm a Dodger fan? Or does one actually get the point across? So, yes, I guess I understand when you have 50 flags in a row, that's not that big a deal. But at the same time, uh, I really wish I could come up with the word, almost like overcompensation. We're trying to convince ourselves of something. We're trying to convince ourselves that everything is peachy keen. There's no problems. We're not at war. We're not in debt. People are not hungry. There's not a ton of illegals here. There's not wasn't terribly high unemployment, but there was a low jobs number last week. We just want to pretend our schools are great. We want to pretend our churches are good. We want to pretend our marriages are good. We just want to put up 1,000 flags all over the world, all over our yard, I guess I should say, deck out our car and pretend all is well. When I guess for one day you can do that, and you should. That doesn't alleviate the problems that we have. It doesn't alleviate anything. It's like they tell you about getting drunk or an alcoholic. You can wash away your problems with alcohol while you're drinking the alcohol. Everybody knows that. Uh, but you got to wake up at some point sober, and it all comes back. And if you haven't figured out how to address the situation, we have a House of Representatives that won't pass anything unless they pass the SAVE Act, which is a voter suppression. You can disagree with me, fight me, unfollow me, do whatever you want. While I do have no problem really with showing voter ID, I have no problem with someone being a citizen to vote, but you already have to be a citizen to vote. There's no need to make it harder to vote. If you were so if your policies were so popular, you'd want everybody to vote. But I do understand you have to have safeguards, and we should. Um, but again, getting back, I mean, are we just glossing over the issues we have by trying to say, "Oh, it's the greatest country to ever live," and it is objectively because I'm the one that lives here. Somebody in France may say France is. I mean, of course it's the greatest country to me. Of course, I would want to expound American values upon the world, the ones that we have that are good. But let's not pretend that we're just this great Christian nation. I mean, we refuse to give health care to people that need it. We complain about it. But at the same time, we want to take away everything from people that have worked hard and earned it and give it to people that don't. There's got to be a happy medium somewhere. Um, I don't know where it is. I don't feel like trying to get into it for the moment. Y'all can leave me a message if you'd like and kind of give me your ideas of what you think. I really don't know, though. I just don't know where we need to be. I wish we could all get along. I think, wasn't that what Rodney King said? Can't we all just get along? And each side, the left and the right, say, if the other side would just listen. I don't know, man. We could go on all day about it, but I really, what do we need to do in America? What do we need to do so that we can only just put up one flag, be super happy, and everything's going great? Well, one, I don't know that that would ever happen, but one, we have to get back to human dignity and respecting one another. We're all created in the image of God. We're not all children of God. Paul makes that clear in Romans 9. Only those who follow God can be called children of God. Jesus, I should say. But we are all created in the image of God, and that's every single human being. And we I don't know. I looked at churches. I've seen some churches that you would never know it's a church. They have so much patriotic insignia everywhere, from flags to banners to 250 this to 250 that. You know, it's a church. We can't make the country an idol. We still have to serve Jesus and not put country above anything. God, family, country. Or you could go God, country, family, possibly, because without a country, it'd be harder to raise your family. But without a family, I don't know. But God has got to come first. I know that much. And so for America to celebrate America 250, it needs to be churches that start that, but not this fake celebration, not this tons of flags everywhere and giving out, patriotic colored sugar cookies, which would be good. I wish somebody would give me one. But it seems empty. It seems empty because Monday morning we're going to go back to the same thing. If not, we're already at the same thing. You have the people on Twitter complaining about the people on the left. You have the people on MSNBC and Threads complaining about the people on the right. And all right, we had a celebration together for 250, day 250. All right, now it's year 250 plus one day extra. What are we doing? Are we buddies again? Of course we're not buddies. We're not friends. And I don't know the answer. I really wish that we could come up with a thing to make people love their neighbor as themselves. But as long as we're humans and humans have hatred in their hearts, and it's been that way since the beginning of time when Cain killed Abel, that's not going to change because we're always afraid somebody's going to get something more than us. Kind of like when you were a kid and your mom brought home one Coke or one candy bar and you had to split it with your brother, and you cut it in half and the kids hold them up. They're like, are you getting the bigger amount? Am I getting the bigger amount? Who's getting the most? And that's really all it's become about. Just me, me, me. So we're here celebrating, obviously, America 250. And I mean, how happy are we? Are we doing well? Things going well. How are things going for you? I mean, we're told that in fact, we're being told a whole lot about communism today and socialism today. If I had $1 for every time since I've been born, somebody's warned that we're going to become a communist country because we elect this person or that person, or when we elected Obama, we were just going to be super communist. Man, it's such crap. Now, I'm not saying they're good presidents by any means. I'm not saying there aren't some people that want to be communist. There are. But the words lost meaning. My kids, I mean, I grew up as a Gen Xer worried about the bombs flying for nuclear bombs. I was a little bit past getting under your desk kind of thing that my mom went through. But saying socialism versus communism to the Gen Z, to my kids, really doesn't mean anything. I mean, you've literally watched these kids grow up as they've watched us, their Gen X parents and possibly older millennial parents, work ourselves to the bone. I even read this thing. Why do kids they're like, why does Gen Z not have the same work ethic? I guess it's because they've seen their parents work themselves to the bone and then get fired or laid off just for taking a vacation. So they're not going to give their lives to a company that's not even going to worry about treating them respectfully whatsoever. Why would they? And so they're starting to take a look at, well, wait a minute, capitalism isn't doing anything for me. I can't get a job when I graduate. I have to live with my parents. I can't do anything. And we want to make fun of them, especially the boomers want to make fun of them or say, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. There are no straps. There are no boots, you know? I mean, but we hear all these people tell us about this. It's all I've heard about. It's this and that, and communism and socialism and blah, 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 blah. I mean, see if I can add this really quick from Harry Truman. See if you can see this. Harry Truman said, socialism is a scare word they've hurled at every advance the people have made in the last 20 years. Of course, he's speaking of this in 1952. It's what they call public power, what they called social security. It's literally in the name, social. Socialism is what they called farm price supports. We have them today. We give them out every year. Socialism is what they call the bank deposit insurance that protects you if the big banks steal all your money like they did in 2008 and banks start collapsing, or if they steal your money to build these data centers like Peter Thiel and all them want to do. Socialism is what they call the growth of free and independent labor organization. In fact, socialism is their name for anything that helps almost all the people, or almost anything that helps all of the people. Now, I'm not sure I agree with that 100% because I just don't necessarily agree that it's 100%. But think about it, man. We all build the roads together. We all pay for the police together. We all pay for the fire department together. We all pay for the Congress together. Then they all spin that back out toward us. What do you call it? I mean, we're not a true capitalist society, and I don't think we should be because capitalism eats those that can't keep up. Now, I don't want communism. I don't want the state declaring everything, but I'm kind of like with Fuentes on this one. If we got rid of all of the people and all of the freeloaders, all the free riders, whether they be illegally here or whether they be natively here, because in jobs I've had, I clearly know there are a ton of freeloading lazy people, black and white. In fact, there's way more white than black. I guess just based on the significant differences in the population. But either way, man, I'm getting worked up. I forgot what I was saying. What was I saying? Man, can't remember everything. Oh yeah, there are a ton of freeloaders. There are. And if we got rid of all that, then we could actually have a pretty decent, robust safety net for senior citizens that can't work anymore, for the mentally handicapped, for the truly physically disabled, not just someone who's got fibromyalgia or something like that. You could have that safety net if you got rid of all of the fraud. There is plenty of fraud, but the problem is that you have to hire people to find the fraud. You know, it's ridiculous. I won't get into it a whole lot. I think I have a show, probably come up with it for a show for another time. But like the birthright citizenship, the way that amendment reads is that if you're born here, you're an American. There's no other way to read it. Should it be changed? Probably so. The decision was simply based on whether the president unilaterally can do it, which I don't believe he can. And they basically said, create an act through Congress because they're right. Should someone who has nefarious ideas be able to come here, show up, have a baby, that baby's a citizen, they go back to China, they go back to Cuba, they go back to Russia, they go back to wherever the heck they're from, live there, grow up there, and then come back and have all the full citizenship rights and then start to destroy America from within? That is a strong worry that I think a lot of people have. And so there should be parameters put on that. Absolutely. And that's another thing. And I'm going off on tangents because it's America 250 and there's a lot going on. Social Security is going bankrupt, not because there's not enough money, but the government has borrowed against the Social Security Trust Fund and has no money to pay that back. That's why it's going broke. We could go on all day long. I mean, we give what was the thing somebody even Dave Smith, the conservative comedian the other day said, "What, it's socialism by a different name. Okay, we're going to give Israel 15 billion or Iran, whomever, $15 billion, but we're going to make them turn around and buy our military hard I guess it was Israel. Buy our military hardware, buy our stuff. It's socialism by a different way. You're just feeding it through a country back into the rich people, making them rich. It's not, yes, sure, it gives jobs to those that work there. Absolutely. But this is what Eisenhower warned about in the military industrial complex. But here we are, and you have people like Caroline Levitt, and it's no secret. I care nothing for this administration. They're all liars, they're all grifters. Um, But here's someone who was born with a silver spoon, literally, married someone rich, 3 times their age, by the way, complaining about you, Mr. and Mrs. I got to get up at 6 in the morning and make my way to the factory where I'm supposed to be standing there by 7, can't clock in, even though I have to get there early, can't leave until a certain time. You got these people complaining about you, and you don't work hard enough, and you need to do better. You know, that's where it gets a little bit rough having to listen to people like this. And that's for the left and the right. It's ridiculous. I don't want to be on either side of it anymore. I'm just done with it all. Old Chuck is done. Uh, I don't know, man. Reading this thing by Fuentes says the only reason he's staying alive today is to play GTA. I've tried to play it. I'm not any good at video games, so uh, it's not my thing. I was trying to look at some things here on Twitter. I guess I could probably find there's another thing on Twitter here that I'm pretty sure has to do with the Kelsey um, Swift marriage, K Swift, whatever you want to call it. And people are losing their absolute minds over this. I mean, the same people who defend Elon Musk for being a quadrillionaire, ever how much money he has, more power to him, but they'll defend that. But because he says the right things, they defend his wealth, but then they make fun of the wealth over here, which isn't even comparable to the wealth over here. Yes, they had security at their wedding. Of course they did. Did they possibly say that police officers a year ago or 2 years ago or 5 years ago might have been a little bit racist in a situation? Sure. I would say the same thing. Not all of them are, but it's ridiculous to say, oh, they don't, you can't have some security for your wedding. I mean, come on, man. These are famous, rich people. Of course, you're going to have security. Of course, they have police officers there. There's 20,000 people that can fit in Madison Square Garden. But guess what? They also paid for those police officers to be present. You don't get all that stuff for free. I just think it's ridiculous that we want to pick on these two people who arguably are part of the American culture and arguably part of the American culture that we export to the world. Taylor Swift is known worldwide, and I'm not a big Taylor Swift fan other than a couple of songs that she has. I'm not going to defend her, except to say it's ridiculous that the left and the right, we want to build up these idols, and then we want to tear down these idols, and we want to make it somehow about ourselves and knock our own lot in life. You want to be better? Pick up a guitar and start writing songs and sing. Start eating better and become a linebacker and start tackling quarterbacks. I mean, we talk about America 250 and being able to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. These are two people that are self-made. Now, granted, Swift's parents may have been doctors or entertainment lawyers. I don't know. Maybe she had a leg up, much more so than mine. But I became an electrician because why? My papa was, my daddy was. It's well, shocker there. But why do we want to bring down these two people whom we don't even know? I don't know them. I really don't give any thought to Taylor Swift or Travis Kelsey, or if they might have some leftward beliefs or if they might have some rightward beliefs. I don't know. I find it hard to believe that the Kelseys are just these super liberal people. I don't even think Taylor Swift is a super liberal person as much as she's just a human being. She gives millions of dollars to people she doesn't have to. She gave $26 million before the wedding. She gives gifts. She gives all this stuff. But we want to knock this person because she said something 5 years ago when a police officer killed a guy and said, well, that looks kind of racist. Well, it probably was. Doesn't mean she thought every cop on the planet is racist. It doesn't mean we think every cop or every football player is racist or every singer is a left wing nut job. I'm getting worked up. It's just ridiculous. We got so much to worry about in this dang country with people stealing money on the left, people stealing money on the right, people going hungry, people can't go to college, kids can't find a job, parents can't find a job. We can't live. It's $3,000 a month for rent. But yeah, let's worry about whether there were some police officers outside Taylor Swift and Travis Kelsey's wedding. Oh, it's for open borders. That's a false equivalency. The one doesn't meet the other. I mean, that's just stupid. And that's the problem. We take it this huge hyperbole and we make it into something that's not, and it loses all of its meaning. Is there a problem at the border? Absolutely, there was. It was a problem under Reagan. It was a problem under Clinton, Bush, Obama, Trump, Biden, and Trump. There's a problem there. Actually, I think Trump's done pretty good at keeping the border secured and closed. I think there's something we can come up with everybody that's here. We can figure that out, but it's not going to happen if we just want to keep throwing these rhetorical bombs to everybody, keep throwing all this mess to everybody, making it seem like that we're the victim and or we're better than them. It's, I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, what can you do at this point? What can you do? Where can you go? I don't know. Getting mad here today. Oh, whew. Let me calm down just a little bit. Apparently, there's a British Grand Grand Prix. Be that too. Just looking at what's going on Twitter and trending. Let's go to. Let's see if I can get back to the people I follow. Those are the ones I'd rather read about. Baseball, the Dodgers are doing pretty well, and we want to keep them doing well. I love people like this guy here. And I don't know him. He might be a good person. He may be a great congressman. But let's see if we can make it bigger. You can call me any name you want. I just want my children to grow up in a country that they recognize. Every parent and grandparent needs to read this. We all want that, man. There's not a human on planet Earth. Let me backtrack. Not an American here that doesn't want that. But what does that mean? One, you're making yourself out to be some victim that you're not. Yes, people call you names, but guess what? You're a congressman who calls other people's names. Call other people's names. I just want my children to grow up in a country that they recognize. So do I. But what does that mean? Truly, tell me, what does it mean? Does it mean like 1950s? I would love to go back to the 1950s in some certain ways where we have 90% tax on the rich. You have a bustling economy. Everybody could get a job. Things were great. Yeah, let's go back to then. Except, I, I don't know. I mean, what do you mean, dude? Uh, I mean, what do you mean? People just say stuff that doesn't make any sense anymore. And let's see. Blake Lively wants Justin Baldini to pay her legal fees, even though they're worth about 1 billion, and he's not worth 1 billion. And it was probably something that they started anyway. I don't know. Wow, NBC is reaching out, or it's MS now. It's not NBC anymore. Candace talking about her interview with Sean Ryan. I listened to the Candace interview with most of Sean Ryan, and it wasn't too bad. She's hung up on what she's hung up on. And is it true? I don't know. Uh, I guess I'd worry about it too if they were a good friend of mine. He wasn't, so I don't know him that well. I don't know him at all. I don't know about him that well. Um, but that was really two big things I had on my brain this morning simply to talk about, which was basically just America 250. Where do we go? What do we do? America! I can't say the rest. Coming to save the day. Isn't that funny? Oh, I thought it was funny. I saw that on, I guess, Instagram where um, uh, South Park creators are singing that song from Team America World Police. But let's look at this. The white supremacist group Patriot Front marched through Washington, D.C. on Independence Day. And they chanted and displayed flags near Eastern markets. Now, here's the thing that I don't agree with. I'm pretty much a free speech absolutist to an extent, I guess. Do they have the right to do that? Absolutely, all day and every day. Do the Black Panthers have the right to do that? Absolutely, all day, every day. Does Antifa, whoever the crap that is, all day, every day. But if you're so proud about your movement, pull your mask down. There's no COVID outside. Are these not the same people that complained about having to go outside during COVID wearing a mask? I'm going to bet that they are. Uh, what a ridiculous thing. But what gets me? Oh, hold on a minute. What gets me? Even in where we live, and I live in a small town not too far from Nashville, the amount of American flags that I saw right beside the Confederate flag yesterday is just ridiculous. You know, those are juxtaposed against one another, right? The one flag tried to conquer the other flag, and yet it has equal billing with the United States flag. No, thank you. There's Confederate flags at the National Mall. There's Confederate flags on buildings. There's Confederate flags in trucks. I might be in the South, but I do not support the Confederate flag or anything that goes with it or anything about it. And to display that while we are here at America 250 is absolutely ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I like what Mr. Global had to say here. It just didn't feel like the 4th of July. I mean, it really didn't feel like it. I mean, we did our best. I mean, we uh, put on a show. We tried, but it didn't feel real. You know how you do when you're faking something. You put on a smile. You do it work, I guess. You put on a smile. You do everything, and you don't feel it. I don't think we felt it now. Maybe America 251 will be in a better place. I don't know. It's not looking like it's going to make it that way, but we'll see. But anyway, I'm going to end for now. We might even do another show later. Who knows? But smash the like button, the follow button, the share button. Even if you can't stand me, show people. Say, this guy stinks. This guy sucks, but you should listen to him anyway. Anyway, thanks for listening. It's the Chuck Wolf Show, and look to see you next